Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Pip Surfer with another daily update for the Cowabunga system. I noticed that whenever I do these videos, I have said the same welcome tag every day since I started these things. So I thought I'd switch it up for that one. But you know, how many times can you say what's going on? So, hello, and thank you for watching the video update, and hopefully you will learn a lot from this. If this is your first time checking out this video, you're going to want to have to go here and click this link where it says, if this is your first time visiting this blog, read this first. That will give you all the rules to the system, and it'll make these videos make a lot more sense. Otherwise, you will be lost, guaranteed. But with that said, let's get right into today's update. I have my 15-minute chart and my 4-hour chart open up. I'm going to look at my 4-hour chart today, and guess what? Today we finally did not have a trend change candle in the middle of our session. For the past few days we have been, and that's making trading very difficult. But today we didn't, and I'm just going to show you that right now. This is what my candle looked like before midnight, right when I'm about to trade. You can see our most recent trend change candle was for an uptrend. That was made yesterday. And then if I just move through today's action, thankfully the trend just continued up. We didn't have any new trend change candles, and today we only looked for long trades. Kind of makes it a little easier for us today because we don't have to worry about all the movements back and forth. Alright, so now I'll go to my 15-minute chart, and I'll move this back to before midnight. And like always, the first thing I want to do is check out my news events for the day. So you can go to babypips.com, just click on this tools tab, and it'll automatically bring up the news events for the day. Just make sure this time zone drop down is correct. Make sure it matches up to where you're staying at. Today we had a few news events. Remember, we're just looking for news that affects either the sterling or the dollar. At 4:30 we had the PMI for construction for the sterling. At 8:15 we had the ADP employment change. I know we have these right here with mortgage application and these other things, but they're not really that significant. But 8:15 we did have ADP employment change, which is pretty significant. So you wanted to take that into account. And then finally, if we happen to be in a trade at 2 p.m., the Fed Beige book was coming out for the dollar, another important news event. So 4:30, 8:15, and 2 p.m. And I'll usually try to put down the important ones that I'll be watching out, but I don't always get them all, so you always want to confirm on your own. But I'll try to make it easy for you and list everything that I'll be looking out for the next day. But those were the three that I was watching out for today. Again, to recap, it's 4:30, 8:15 a.m., and then 2 p.m. all Eastern time. Alright, so now that I have those news events written down, I can go ahead and begin my day. Remember, you just want to set an alert, make sure you're not in the market during those news times. And now I'm going to simulate my day by moving my chart forward one candle at a time. And you can go through my thought process with me as I look at the markets. Remember, I'm only looking for long trades. My first news event isn't until 4:30. So we're just watching it, and here we go. At 3:15 we get a crossover. RSI is above 50, stochastics are trending up. MACD has gone from negative, and it looks like it's gone slightly positive there. So it's gone from negative to positive. This is a valid entry. This is at 3:15, which means it closes at 3:30. Our news event's not until 4:30, so we have about an hour to trade, so that's okay. So what I'm going to do is enter at the close of this candle, or as close to it as possible, which is at 66.03. Our stop's going to be at the most recent swing low, which is at 65.49. And our target will be at the nearest 50 or 0 level, which is at 66.50. Alright, so it gives us a lot of room to maneuver there. Nice potential profit. Again, in my mind though, I know that if 4:30 hits and my target is not hit, and if I'm still in the trade, I will exit no matter where I'm at. So I'm just remembering that, and I know it in my head, so that if that happens, I'm ready to just take out my trade, and I won't be too emotional and won't cling on to it, because that's part of my trading plan. Okay, so now I'll let the trade marinate, and you can see it's just kind of, it's moving up in our favor. Okay, now here's the 4:15 candle this closes at 4:30, so I know news is coming out at 4:30. My target's not hit. I'm still in the trade. I am slightly positive, so I already made up on my mind that I was going to close my trade out no matter where it was. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out right before the news, and I got it at 66.24. All right, so I'm just going to exit my trade and not worry about it anymore because I know I don't want to be out during news. And there's our news candle. And again, it didn't do anything. Sometimes it doesn't, but other times it will. And you can see that right after that, man, the market just continued to skyrocket. But that's okay. You know, you got to follow your rules. And that won't always work out like that. I know you can look at it and be like, oh, man, I missed it. If I would have just stayed in, then I would have been all right. Maybe I can do this different. But that's what gets you into trouble. Because other times, in a situation like this, perhaps you could have been saved. What if the news event totally went against you and then you lost everything? So it's good and bad, and you want to stick to what's been tested, and you have to trust on those statistics. And for me, that staying out of the market during news events has worked for me. So that's what happens. And sometimes you miss out, and that's okay. All right, so I'm continuing to move forward. Again, I'm only looking for long trades. But the market is continuing to go in this uptrend, so it's not really giving me any opportunities. Again, here's 8:15. Again, nothing happened, so it happens sometimes. There's 9. Okay, so now I've seen here that the price has crossed back down. Now I'm starting to pay closer attention because now I have the possibility for the price to move back up and give me another crossover to the upside. So that's what I'm looking for at this point. I'm paying closer attention, and it's 10 a.m. right there, 10:15. And if I look right here, there is a crossover here, all right? And this is, if I look at my indicators, RSI is above 50, stochastics are trending up, MACD is negative and gaining value. This is a valid entry right here, okay? Now, the entry is at the close, which is at 66.74. Our stop's going to be at the most recent swing low at 66.48. And then our target's at the nearest 50 or 0 level, which is at 6,700. All right. Alright, so now I don't have any news events coming out, and I'll continue to move this forward. And at 11 a.m., unfortunately, we got stopped out of the trade. So not much else to do there but take the loss and move forward. Alright, so 8:30, 11:30, 11:45, and 12, and that's where I stopped looking for trades. Alright, so we had 2 trades. One was a winner, one was a loser. But again, hopefully you saw everything I saw. That's the main purpose of the video, is to just kind of match your thinking with mine, and then that way you'll know that you're trading the system correctly. Now, the system is tested. There are plenty of other systems out there. This one has been proven to work over the long run. So this might be the system for you, it might not be. Again, it all depends on your trading personality. This is not set in stone. You can always alter rules. The key is to just test them, and test them before you even think about doing anything with your real money, okay? So that's pretty much it for today's update. If you have any questions, feel free to post it in the blog or in the forums, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. But that's it for today's update, and I'll see you all on the next one. Cowabunga, dudes.